They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25.
All the way! We 6 on this drive! On this drive! We can do this, old friends!
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Kmet. This defense for the Commanders very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
To throw again on second down. Fields toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. 2 yards on the carry. They'll go again with Gibson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. They'll get back over the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be... Punter Tress Way as he sends this one away. And take it right on the 30. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on third down, Fields. Well, he finds his man, it's Jones. And he will have the Bears first down. They needed 4, he doubled that. He wound up getting 8. The Bears have 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They thought they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down. They'll fake the handoff, now Fields. Here's Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10. It's a game of 34.
That's an acceptable penalty against that defense. It's up to the offensive coordinator. Does he win that part of the chess match? But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Now Fields. They set up the screen to Hill. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the center. The Bears are lost on the play. Now what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. Get some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And now can they reverse the trend on third and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
Make something happen. Come on. Play like you mean it. Focus. Through. See the goal line.
Here's Fields. Touchdown. A great play there. With his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
What are you doing?
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 44, Jackson toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. Out route here, he finds Turner. And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Jackson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Bears are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
On the ground with Hill, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return will stop right around the 25. He's now lost fumbles in back-to-back weeks. And, of course, you remember last week's game, such a close affair. That hurt him.
Hurt him in a big way, and it is so key to take care of the ball, because remember, the team making the fewest mistakes usually wins the game. So you got to take care of the ball, not get away high and tight, as you often hear from running back coaches. 4 points of pressure, fingertips, forearm, biceps, sternum, or chest. Put it away.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Gibson again. Bulldozes past him. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap on tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Washington. Odell Beckham, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are an extra point away from drawing level. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of them. And he loses the football a second time. And it's Washington that scoops it up. Second time in this first half now, Charles, that he's coughed up the football.
And both times, I think, they were in spots where he's got to think about covering up the ball. He's got to revert to his fundamentals in those practice drills where they carry it through traffic. He's not out in the open field where he can swing it a little bit, cover it up, and take care of it.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson, that's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was running.
And he's going to go down back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Jackson. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. And the Bears will use the second and 10 outs. The Steelers are just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but with great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Some good plays today.
Again, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Pick 6 last drive. Here's Fields again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Second and 10. Fields again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now it's Fields. He finds his man, complete. It's Bass. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So Washington in a good spot. They got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Second half starts with a run by Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Gibson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. A nice play design there with a touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now it's Jackson. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. Now Jackson. Going to be caught downfield by Dotson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only...
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. From 17 yards out. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 21-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Samson Abukum able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Chicago. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. Santos with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. And we'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunting. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware. If they can throw a screen at them, maybe they'll slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there was some of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Jackson. He's got Gibson on the out route. And this is a
trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a fourth down.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And he finds McLaurin. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on fourth. From the gun, Jackson. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Defense can't stop you.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, it's Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Now Joey Sly for the point after. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and bottom line is protect the football, just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself. Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Back to the air, Fields on second down. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And out of bounds right around the 12. 9 yards, not quite. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
This offense so far on third down, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So they get the interception, and almost as importantly, a big return after that.
And who was the guy that saved the touchdown, partner? The guy who threw the interception. A lot of times, he just gives it the old Olay, but give him credit. He went old school. He was determined not to make this a pick six, and he got there in time to make the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Once more, Gibson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 15. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he dropped it about the 11 after only a yard.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson, and bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Hill. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Now Fields. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Chicago first down there in the game. Defensively, he's got the nice lead in the 4th quarter. You say, well, if they want to get it wrong out over 10 yards, that's okay.
I get what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Right now, boys.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. There is only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Actually, it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Steps away to his left. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Fourth down, Fields has to have this one. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bass. And the Bears are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
With the scoreboard against them here in the fourth quarter, this was definitely 4-down territory. Really nice job there finding a way to get open, and a really nice throw. That sets them up with first and goal.
To the air again, Fields. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His third touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how